up high. Hold your head up high. Memories can hurt you, how the words can burn you, making you feel alone, turning your heart to stone. Life can be a nightmare, leave you feeling so scared. What are you gonna do? Where are you running to? I'm begging you please to hang on, hang on. I'm begging you please to hang on, hang on. Hold your head up high, hold your head up high. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high, see it in your eyes. You were born to fly. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. 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 Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high, see it in your eyes. You were born to fly. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. Hold your head up high. Hold your head up high. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high, see it in your eyes. You were born to fly. Hope is just around the corner. Hold your head up high. I never spend my time living others' lives. What's like holding someone else's pieces on the board? You can never win. Try not to begin. That's sad. Please don't come find me. Why don't you people try spending some of your time thinking of something else besides tearing others down? You can never win. Get under my skin. Can't say you didn't wound me once, and I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own. I never wanted life to be someone else's broken mirror, forfeit a reflection of my own. I could never win. Why would I begin? But you're welcome to keep drinking that poison. Down, 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 down. And I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion and suffer fools of your own. And I thank you all for that. You can try to hurt me, but you don't hurt anymore. And I need you all for that. But you can take your opinion, suffer fools of your own. I'm focused. I've been watching for the omens. I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded. I got the feeling that you know it. Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done, till you're broken. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. I've been waiting for this moment, the final battle of the chosen. See, I'm never gonna quit, got my legacy set in motion. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. Welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. 'Cause the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You build your fortress and I'll climb your walls. You got your armor, but I see your flaws. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. Bigger they are, harder they fall.
Yo!
Yo.
I just realized that as we were kicking over. I'm like, oh my gosh, we didn't change your headset. I was like playing around with that chatbot thing. It didn't work though. Some of it worked. I don't know. I got to play around with that again. Welcome everyone to another Saturday. How you doing, Patrick?
I'm all right, man. What about you?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
man.
Spotify's not cooperating, but that's okay. We'll get past it. So we are, Patrick and I are in the final prep. Alex is here as well. We are in prep mode, focus mode for our workshop next week at the Power Platform Conference. So it's getting real. It's getting real. I was telling Patrick, Alex, that I was kind of hoping. I wish it would have been at Monday, so we could enjoy the conference. But it's on Friday at the tail end, so now we gotta like lingering over the head. Still gonna enjoy the conference, but it's all good. If you are new to the live stream or to GuideCube in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing all the new faces. Always love seeing new folks. Yes, Jason, I know. Other people do have workshops on Monday. Do you want to swap?
Yes. Yes.
Alex is like, no. like I want to get those final bits in. I will say Alex has been a machine on that thing. That's bananas. That is bananas.
I got a whole Word document coming for you, Alex. I got a whole working document.
I got some GitHub PRs coming your way. So all right. Yeah, Kevin, Stream Elements versus. Oh, yes. All right. So shout out to the members of GuideCube. We just appreciate everything you do for us, the support that you give. It's always bananas. So, Stina in Texas, member for 16 months, saying, yo, appreciate it. Thank you for all the support. Over a year. That's great. I always love seeing all the folks. Some folks have commented being a member for over 2 years, and it just has the Infinity logo. They're like, you need new things that go further. And I'm like, Infinity is not good enough? I don't know. I like Infinity. Yeah, we're doing Steel City. We're doing a workshop at Power Platform Conference next week in Orlando. The conference is sold out, so it's
the conference is sold out.
Yeah. So members,
like Jason, our workshop.
Yeah.
Our workshop
Jason's workshop is sold out.
Jason's.
So that's all right. That's all right. So members, just again, appreciate if you see folks with a green name or the member icon next to their name, those are members of GuideCube. So shout out to all of you. And then if you want to learn more about being a member, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below. No commitment required. Just thanks for checking it out.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out all the new folks.
I think there's 4,000 people.
No, it was.
It's sold out at 4,000.
Yeah, it was. It's a good number.
Close,
There's gonna be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of people there. All right. Prasada's new. Ashish is new. Simon is new. Jason is nah. Carolina's new. Alwyn is new. Ben is new. Wow, lots of new folks today. Sussy is new. I hope I said that right. Let's see here. I think Minaj put hashtag, so I'm thinking that is a hashtag new. I'll treat that. Steve is new. Yeah, Minaj is new. Did we get any others? Mahesh is new.
I'm new to them.
Samir is new. Wait,
Lawrence
you saw
is
Lawrence?
new to the live stream.
Where'd you see
Lawrence, right below Mahesh.
Ooh, whoa.
I don't know. It says
Ayush Muslim.
There's more.
Dwayne is new.
Yeah.
Garrett's new. Holy cow! Wow.
Yeah. What's on?
Oh yeah, Lawrence. Yeah, Lawrence,
Wow.
new to live stream. Welcome,
Wow.
welcome
They're
everyone.
still coming.
That is
They're still
bananas.
coming. Yeah.
Ooh, Sam is new. Siva's new. Wow. Welcome everyone. Appreciate y'all being here. It is great.
Wait, is Chris Finland in the chat? Is Chris Finland here?
I don't think I can answer that question,
he doesn't do Power
Patrick.
BI.
I don't think I can
He
answer
doesn't do
that.
Power BI anymore. He doesn't do Power BI anymore. What is
I
he
did
doing
not get
here?
that picture set up for today, so maybe we'll find it. So, all right. All right, rules for the day. Also, Chatmaster C, Matthew is not going to be here. He put on Twitter he's got some family commitments. So, Minaj, yes, we got your hashtag new. So, which leads us to our rules. So, if you have a question, put Q colon in front of the question. Chatmaster C is standing by to get it queued up for you. One time is all you need. Do not do it more than once. We have a 3 strikes rule here on GuideCube. If you do that, you will be put into a timeout. Please do not spam the chat. Spamming the chat will get you in a timeout. And if you consistently spam, then you will get banned. And we don't want that. And then, so you will either be put in a timeout by either Chatmaster C or one of our lovely moderators, except for Patrick. Yeah, so let's not do that. Let's just follow the rules and life will be good. So, Clinton said, new listening to the live stream. So appreciate you're here, Clinton. Been a long time watcher of content. Yes. I know. Yeah, Thomas, a lot of hashtag news. That is insane.
Burnett says Patrick is not a moderator or is not lovely.
Technically is a moderator. He just doesn't. I can't comment on the other one. That's up to personal preference.
I'm not lovely, Burnett. I'm not lovely. I'm not lovely.
Yeah. Just see both. Wow. He actually is a moderator. He just doesn't use the ban hammer at all. So yeah, John knew. Wow, there's still some new folks coming in.
Still coming.
I know they're still coming. That's bananas. Welcome everyone. Welcome. All right, Patrick, what do you say we get into the questions? It's what everyone came for.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Matthias. Yes, the ban hammer. Chatmaster C has the ban hammer. Wow, Q is a little light too. So get your questions in if you do have questions. Paul, welcome. I see you there. No worries. You're right on time. We're just getting into the questions, Paul. All right. Mono is new as well. Welcome. All right. And Chris Wagner just showed up too. Yo. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
All right. Klaus, I love Patrick and his videos. Patrick, see, there's one. There's one.
That's one.
There it is, right there in the chat for you.
Boom. I have evidence.
There you go. And Steve says Gynacube is a perfect way to start a Saturday. I agree.
See, look, another one.
There you go. There you go. There's at least two. We do all love Patrick's videos. It's just that we don't all watch Patrick's videos. But when we do, we love them.
Yes, I did the update. I did the update this month. It was not a no.
It was the first one, right? It's always. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Please slow down.
Pie Beater, thanks.
Yeah, Pie Beater. So we have this thing. We have this.
Slow down.
Yeah, we have this thing. Sometimes Patrick and I, when we're doing stuff, I'll look at Patrick and I'll go, slow down.
Yeah, I gotta slow down.
He gets excited so this is the thing: is he gets excited about those topics. And when he gets excited, he speeds up a little bit. That's how you can tell if he's really into the content, as he starts getting fast.
Oh, man.
So, all right. Let's get into the questions. Matthias is first in today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Patrick, the little red Corvette. All right.
Guess I should have known.
Matthias, here we go. Oh my gosh, Alex. Why are different audiences... Patrick, you gotta pay attention here. All right. We'll get to Alex. Why are different audiences? So we're talking about the new app experience, the audiences inside of apps. Why are different audiences, each with other invisible pages, not possible inside a report in the app? I mean the new app experience, but then on page level. So I will say, I just did the video on Thursday for the app experience. There were a lot of questions about page level stuff, right? So there's obviously a lot of desire for that. I will say that this is just not a capability in the feature, right? It's never been there. It wasn't there in the old app experience. It's not there in the new app experience. It's more about the report, not about the pages. I don't disagree with you that having that capability would be really cool. And I think Matthias followed up too, because a lot of my answers on the comments in the video were more about, like, there's no concept in Power BI today of page level security. It's about the report itself, not the pages within the report. And so that's just not a capability. But Matthias did follow up on the chat earlier. I saw it where he's not necessarily looking for security per se, but just the ability just to hide them. Yeah, Patrick.
Keep going.
Oh, you have something when you're different. Okay.
No, it's on that, but I'm going to say something after.
Okay. I mean, like, that's the thing is, like, it's just not there. I don't know what else to say outside of that. Yes, it's not possible to hide pages within reports within the app experience. If you do, I need to set up the command for this. If you do want that capability, go to ideas.powerbi.com and either create it or vote it up. So.
Yeah. Yes, Patrick is standing. Patrick always stands.
Patrick stands. Adam sits.
So I haven't tried this in the app, but Bernard said it about the conditional page access. I mean, if you do conditional page navigation in your report, right, which should be controlled in the app, if I have buttons, and this is not security, again, not security,
it's obfuscation,
right? It's just me
not security.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So you can do it. Yes. Everybody's saying you can do it with row level security. And I did a video on it. But it's not security. I'm just hiding those pages. And if I get the link to those pages, I can override that. So
yes.
You can do it. It's just don't consider it security.
It's not security.
There's a video somewhere out there where I did it. There's a video somewhere out there where I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason. That picture, that was just my face on a buff guy's body. I am not.
We're talking about the picture?
No.
All right. Do you want me to show do people want me to show the picture?
No. Please don't show the picture. Please don't show the picture. Please don't show the picture.
I mean, some people probably want the picture, though. All right. Anyway.
They go on Twitter. It's on Twitter.
Yeah, people are yes. Oh my goodness! Hang on. Let me get it. Where is this? No, I can't click on your link, Patrick or Jason. What?
Yeah.
What?
Let's keep going. More questions.
Yes, we will get to more questions. But first, this break from your sponsor. Jason has swag. He's bringing a Power Platform conference. It's amazing.
And they have the best shirts. They have the best.
They do. I love their shirt. I still have that shirt. That was like my travel shirt, but it's gotten worn so much that's a little ratty. So I need a new one. I'm excited to get a new one.
Well, I tell you what, I expect some type of royalty for them using my picture. So
I know
more than one shirt. So.
You should. That face is worth money.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Ollie. How to get data from web if the table implemented in an iframe? Does that not work? I haven't tried that.
I never tried it.
I never tried it.
So if
the web page you're in has an iframe and the table's in the iframe, it probably doesn't pick that up because it just in that HTML output it just sees the iframe, and so it's not going to work.
It just sees the iframe.
That makes sense why it doesn't work. Yeah, that's interesting. The reason why I think it doesn't work is because if it actually scrapes the HTML of that given page, it's just going to see the iframe. It doesn't see the underlying table, so it's not going to be inline. The iframe will have a URL pointer to another page, so you'd have to go to that URL. So I mean that's a way you could do it. So if you go to view source on the page,
I never tried it.
Look at the URL of the iframe and then go hit that URL. Yep. So, sorry. That's not a Power BI problem. That's an HTML spec problem, kind of, I guess, or a browser issue. I don't know. All right, Sandeep. Dynamic row-level security is working when tested in Power BI Desktop. Here we go. I haven't read this whole thing, but I think I know where this is going. But not in Power BI Service, even when the user has just viewer access to the workspace. Any idea what could possibly be wrong? Would you like to guess, Patrick? Well, I'm pretty sure I know.
Well, he already said in the comments that he added them to the role.
Oh, okay, that's where I was going to go.
Yeah. That's where I was going too.
Yeah.
But if it's added to the role, are you sure that the UPNs, the user principal names, match? Right? And I've seen this before. Because your UPN that you use to sign in to Power BI is often different than the email address that I saw this at a university I was working at.
Because they're doing dynamic. Yeah, because it's dynamic. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the email address that you're. And you
told me about
this. We did a who is something.
Username versus user principal name.
Email
Bam.
Address,
Lance has got it.
Well, not just that. It wasn't just that though. It wasn't just that, Adam. The email address that we put in the data didn't match the email address that they were signing in to Power BI with.
Yeah, it could be either. So the question in your RLS role, are you using the username function or are you using user principal name function? That's the first thing.
He's using user. He already said he's using user principal name.
Then it's probably what Patrick said, where it's that user principal name's not matching whatever string you have in the table.
add user principal name as a measure, drag it onto the report, and see actually what it is.
What is it?
What it's returning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Benny. Whipping out DOS commands.
Hey, who is, right? Who is? It works.
I did that in my video, too. I did a video a while back where I did the who is command.
I know you did.
Case sensitivity?
I
don't know if it is case sensitive.
I don't think so.
It's something to check, too, but I would make sure they match.
Dude, I remember we were sitting at I was in the field. I was working in sales. I sent you an email. I was like, dude, why? And you were like, run this who is thing. And that was it. And we fixed it. And it worked. I remember.
Who is?
Yeah.
Yep. It's because whenever that doesn't work, it's only like 2 or 3 things that could be wrong. That's always what it is. Now, if you were saying like your dynamic row level security row is like really slow and adding a bunch of CPU, that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
Don't do complex stacks in your role. That would be my...
Yeah.
Which people do, and it baffles me. All right, a cache. How do you approach a problem where you've been handed a messy data set without any modeling behind it with nearly 1,000 DAX measures and customers want some band-aid short-term fix in 3 months? Wow, you got 3 months? I could do a lot in 3 months.
That's a long time.
I can do a lot. Now, if you said 3 days, that's a whole other thing, but 3 months?
Yeah. If it was me and I had 3 months, that Alex just, God dog it, Alex took the words out of my mouth. I would fix it. I would model it. I would shape it. I would use calculation groups to minimize the number of measures in the model. You know, I would follow all best practices. Those 3 months, that's a long time. I can get a lot.
I know, 3 months. That's a lot.
Yeah. Calculation groups. There's so many things that you can do in 3 months.
Cool. All right. So I forgot.
That's probably not the answer. That's probably not the answer that person wanted.
It's not the answer that person wants, but it's the answer that person needs.
Yeah.
All right. So I forgot to go back to Alex's question. Member for 31 months. That blows my mind, Alex. I thank you for that. And I can't put it on the screen. For some reason, those things don't show up. So Alex's question was, Patrick, my users keep sending numbers to my custom function when they should be sending text. Any way to explicitly throw an error?
They can, but you got to watch my video to find out, Alex.
Which won't be next week, by the way.
You gotta watch my video to find out. You gotta watch my video to find out.
When is that video gonna come?
It'll be the following week. So I'm recording it today. He and we had a chat yesterday, and I wrote the function, and he's like, "You can't. If you don't do this, then it's implicit. You need to explicitly provide the data type in your function. Otherwise, other things can happen." I was like, all right, man. And he showed me, so stay tuned for the video.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let me get rid of that. So Toma has got a question. Is it possible for selection on visuals, for example, table, to filter slicers? I know it can be done with count row measure, but any other ideas? So if I'm reading that correctly, don't say, I would think that it depends. And so you're wanting you select like a row. Yeah, Patrick forgot. You're selecting something in a visual, and you want that to also filter the slicers. And so where I say it depends, by default, it will not. But if you have a visual level filter on the slicer, would that? Should.
No bi-directional. No bi-directional. Don't do that. Please, Thomas, don't suggest bi-directional.
No, not bi-directional. Oh, no, that's absolutely what you don't want to do.
No.
But that's where the visual level filter comes in.
Yeah. But that's the only way you really can filter a slicer is with a visual level filter. You just can't do it any other way, because a slicer is the filter. Right. And so you want something to filter the filter? You know?
Yep.
I have a video on cascading on
Yes.
cascading slicers. You probably
Yes.
should go watch it.
Yes.
Probably should go watch that
Yep.
one.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not selecting, Bernard. That is
No.
absolutely you're
Yeah.
not selecting. Yeah.
Yeah. Not in the measure, no, but you're affecting the
Yeah.
filter context
Yeah.
by doing
And
that.
Thomas, you're right.
So,
It will. All that cross bi-directional could solve it, but
don't do that.
it could cause so many
Please
other
don't do
problems.
that.
Filter
Yeah.
the filter.
That's the wrong reason to
Filter
use
the filter.
bidirectional. That is the absolute wrong reason.
Yeah.
So, yep. Yes. All right. Egbert. Power BI scorecard integration with Microsoft Teams. So this is the metrics thing. Seems to break bookmarked selections when accessing underlying report. Others facing same issue and better have solution. So scorecard integration. So it's scorecards in Teams. It depends.
Well, no. On the other question. The other one.
Yeah.
The other one. Yes.
Yeah. Well, no, I said
Yeah.
it was an it depends. That's when you grab the jar.
Oh, okay. I already put it in.
That was the slicer question. Yeah. All right. So this one, you've got a scorecard in. So this is the scorecard. I'm saying that's Power BI metrics. And so you've got one of those in Teams. So you're just like viewing it, right? And then it's just $1, Kevin. But it breaks bookmark selection when accessing underlying reports. You click on the thing that goes to the report. It breaks the bookmark. Well, but that link I don't think is going to go to an assigned bookmark when you do that. I'd have to try it out, but my assumption here is that it's going to like the default view of the report. Now, if you've assigned for that report for you personally, like you've got a personal bookmark and you're going to, you've set that personal bookmark as this is what I want. I don't know if that's what you're saying is broke. So I don't know exactly what you're saying is broke there with the bookmark piece. I would think it just goes to whatever the default view is for the report. And if that's on, Bernat's saying, no, it's not the default view. It goes to the selection you did. I don't know what that means. You filter everything when they're still talking about the slicer thing, I think. I don't know. So I'd have to try it. I don't know what the behavior is on that when there's bookmarks involved going from the scorecard. So it's interesting. Okay. So Bernat's saying it was the scorecard. But I'm trying to remember the selection on that with the scorecard. I'll have to try it. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Because it's either going to go to the default view. Bernat's saying it's not going to the default view. Right, when defining the KPI. But you're saying that's broke.
I don't know anything about
Egbert's saying it's broke. So I've got to try it. Whoa, Chris Finland coming in as a member producer level. Thank you, Chris. That's bananas.
Thank you there,
That's
Mr. Chris
bananas.
Finland.
All right, Egbert, I'm gonna make a mission to go play with that a little bit. So I don't know exactly what you're saying is broke about it. So I need to tinker. Okay, Alwyn. Real quick before Alwyn. So Egbert, if this is actually an issue and you think it's a bug, like it works outside of Teams but it's broken in Teams, open a support case also. Like that could be a fair thing. So please do that as well. All right, Ellen. I am new to Power BI. I wanted to know if there's a way to select a range of values from a table, like in Excel when you press Shift click 2.
I tried it.
Did you? Like if you do Control click, does
go
that?
for it.
Hang on.
Go. It'll multi-select. It multi-selects,
right.
But it doesn't select the range.
No, yeah, you
Well,
can't
I can
do the
select
range.
Control.
Yeah, you can do controls.
I can't,
yeah,
like,
but the Shift doesn't. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Better ideas for bugs in
yeah.
Power BI. Yeah. So Control for multi-select will work, but the range thing doesn't. Just click all of them.
Yeah. I tried.
Just learn the clicks. Yeah. So Shift won't work. Shift does not work. Medi. Hello, can we manage calculations and field parameters and conditional formatting? I just did a video on that with field parameters. Patrick, you remember that, right? We talked about it in the live stream, and then I did the video. Hey, Alex, can you drop the video for hey, Alex, can you drop the video for the conditional formatting with the field parameters? We had that workaround. Remember when we were choosing? Yes, I know you're looking at Chris's thing. All right. Anyway, yes.
We manage calculations.
Yeah. So Mehdi, it's about field parameters. Yeah. The video was specifically around field parameters and conditional formatting. There is a way to get it to work.
You can do it.
So because I had Patrick's way.
You should write DAX to do it.
I had Patrick's way, which was writing DAX, and then I had my way, which was just doing clicks, and it works. It works.
You write DAX. You write DAX.
Yeah.
You write DAX.
I got a lot of views, Patrick. All right. So M Khan, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. And Mr. Chris Finland coming in with a super chat as well. Where'd it go? There it is. Chris said, wait, I only joined because I thought I read was one of the perks was Buff Patrick's workout secrets. I've been misled. Well, I mean, we can add that as a perk.
There's no Buff Patrick.
We can add that as a perk.
Patrick. Just look, just skinny. There's no Buff Patrick. There's no Buff Patrick.
It's one of Patrick's goals for next year. All right,
it is
Burnett.
actually one of my goals.
All right, Burnett. What's the best way to get Active Directory members and M365 distribution list members into Power BI? What exactly does that mean? When you say into Power BI, what does that mean? I don't know what that means.
I guess he wants to import the data.
Well, okay. That wasn't where I was going with it, which is why I'm asking, what do you want to do? You want to report. Okay. So I'd have to look and see what APIs are available for Active Directory.
There's Active Directory connection.
Yeah, I think that's for on-premises. That's on-prem. That's not Azure AD. So
it said Active
the graph.
It didn't say Azure Active Directory.
Yeah, so Chris said graph. I was thinking graph APIs as well. Graph APIs is what you got to look at. Now, in general, whenever I've heard someone saying they're creating against the graph APIs, there's a struggle there. So, but there are some blog posts out there and whatnot. But you got to do that. Either that or I want to proof tutor. Well, if it's Active Directory, I mean that's all Patrick. So,
it depends.
It depends.
It depends.
Yeah. The other thing too is come up with some imports. So instead of hitting Power BI directly against that, like pump that into like an Azure SQL database or something like that, and then point Power BI to that. That's where I would go with it. Yes. So, all right. Chatmaster C has cleared the queue. We are at the halfway mark. What this means? We spend the second half going to members only chat, so where moderators and members can participate in the chat. Everyone else can still watch and learn and all that great stuff, but will not be able to participate directly in the chat. Super chats always take priority. So if you did have a burning question, we didn't get to it. We never get through all the questions on the stream, so apologies for that. But if you did have a burning question, super chats do take priority. Make sure you type in the question when you do the super chat. That is a way to do it. So members, feel free to get your questions in. And again, if you want to learn more, check out the join button down below. And we are going to cut over to member only chat. Where is it? Here we go. Are you ready, Patrick?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Members have to follow the rules too. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We may have to put Patrick in a timeout. So, although Patrick's not a member, so Patrick can't talk. Oh, he's a moderator though. See, this proves that Patrick's a moderator. He can still type in the chat. All right. So one of the benefits of being a member at the visitor or producer tier, and this actually makes me very frightened now that Chris is at the producer tier. So you can pre-submit questions. So we do have 2 pre-submitted questions for today. So the first one going in here is from Chris. So I've heard that using strings, GUIDs or GUIDs, whatever your flavor may be, as relationship columns can negatively impact performance. I just tried it out myself with a 20 million row customer dimension and a 40 million row fact table. I see in Vertiback Analyzer that the GUID column customer dimension key takes up much more memory than the int surrogate key column, so that's cool. What I'm not seeing, though, is actual performance difference in Power BI Visual's updating speed. Like, it looks the same. It's going good. Can you show a side-by-side example that exhibits this visual updating performance hit when using strings or GUID relationships? And the big thing here being that the GUIDs are strings, right? So really this is about strings, not necessarily GUIDs specifically. What you got, Patrick?
I don't have a data set big enough to truly show where scale would be a problem.
Chris forgot about this question. I did not forget, Chris, so there you go.
Yeah. I don't have a data set big enough. And so we were tinkering before the session, and I was going to do a video on this, and I just don't have enough evidence in my data set to do a video on these GUIDs. But it's exactly what you said. At least, at the surface is exactly what you said. It's all about
it's the model size.
The size. The model size.
Which could also potentially affect processing, so refresher processing.
Yeah.
So the other thing, when we were talking about it too, the other thing I was thinking about too is that potentially, so once you get to higher volumes of data, like so in processing, it could be affected because of potential dictionaries that got to get built. It could be the relationship sizes themselves could be affected, which could impact actual visual performance. But it's going to be a much bigger size scale of data at that point, not with what you're testing with or what Patrick was testing with.
Well, and I mean, that goes to exactly what you're saying, right? So performance itself, I couldn't, right? I did notice when I was looking at server timings, I noticed a little CPU on the queries that were using a string for a relationship. I did notice a little, but it wasn't, it was very small. But the model size was tremendously bigger. It was like 4 times bigger. So that will indirectly affect the refreshes, So if the model's larger, it's going to take longer to refresh and build those dictionaries, like Adam says, right?
Yeah. So Daryl said, is that a question for Phil C. Mark? I would say, well, Marco's here too.
Could be. Yeah, Marco's here.
So,
but to be honest, if you just avoid GUIDs, why do you need them? Convert them to integers.
You shouldn't have them to begin with. Chris, why do you only got small data sets? We actually do have bigger data sets, but not that have GUIDs pre-populated. All right. What did Marco say?
When materialization happens, right? When we got to pull it out, but you wouldn't pull the GUIDs out, though, right? Would I use the GUIDs for anything unless I'm doing some type of treat as or use relationship or something like that? Then I'm building my own table in memory or something like that. Why would I do something like that?
Yeah. And you also see performance breakdown like when you're trying to do like operations in your DAX measures on strings. So like I've seen where people like try to break out like a string value, like, hey, get these 2 characters from a string, and then it falls apart. So that's where you'd see a performance hit also.
Ask Scott about Dataverse.
Dataverse loves GUIDs.
It's GUIDs all over Dataverse.
Yeah. I would say SharePoint also. All right, David, thank you for becoming a member, and Burnett, thank you for becoming a member as well. Much appreciated. All right. So that was the first one. Chris, I don't know that it confirmed what your thoughts were, at least. So, yeah. And Marco's saying also, like, the issue is DAX. It's all about DAX, so not necessarily the relationships themselves. Yeah. Yep. All right, cool. All right. So the next one, we're going back to the audiences. So Kirsty said, loving the new feature release with the audience and apps. Yes, I am too. There is a fairly significant snag for the UX on this. Each report set may be hidden or visible to an audience. So there is a natural need to split reports to a structure that aligns to your audience. However, when you split reports, you lose the sync of the slicers. When you have all reports running off a date, for example, users must remember to update it for each report set. It's frustrating and fraught with danger. Okay. So Kirsty provided some more details, but the idea here was that instead of having a report that has multiple pages, the idea here was that because of the audience piece, you may have certain pages that you want for an audience. So this kind of goes back to Matthias's question at the beginning of like, hey, I want to be able to control who can see what pages with the audience. But because I can't, I'm going to this technique of splitting out reports for the given audiences. But now my slicers, I may have had sync slicers across those pages in one report, in one Power BI desktop file. But because now I've split them up, I can't use sync slicers. So how do I handle that? And the answer here is it depends. So it's not a native functionality of Power BI. So if you're using a slicer in one report, it doesn't naturally transition over to the other report. One way you could potentially handle this is using custom URLs, so building out a custom URL from a DAX perspective and then assigning that to a button as an action, which would then carry it over to another report. It's almost like a navigation type feature within the report that would then kick them over to the other report, and in that URL you're passing in a filter. It's not ideal. I would say it's janky. And that in itself actually introduces problems as well. So it's not a cohesive solution. So like the fact that you broke those up, you have to, there's pros and cons to breaking that up, right? This is one of the cons of breaking it up. You're going to lose that capability of sync slicers if you were leveraging it. So that's something you're going to have to gauge in terms of incorporating limitations within the product and how you want to handle that from a business perspective. So I get that it's frustrating. So again, I'll go back also, like go to ideas.powerbi.com and signal that that's a capability you want for audiences. I think being able to, for an audience to signal like hide the page, not necessarily as a security thing, but just hiding it as part of an audience thing. The page is still available because it's not security, but the ability to hide that. There was a question in the video yesterday as well, or on Thursday. Johnny brought up this question of in paginated reports, like it breaks subreports. So because you want to hide the subreport, you don't want people to see that because you want them to go to the main paginated report. But when you hide the subreport in the audience, it actually breaks the main report. So I'm like, that's a problem too. So all sorts of things there. So interesting. All right. Hopefully that helps answer you, Kirsty. I don't have a good answer for you, but yeah. And then Coco, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Okay. So those were the two pre-submitted. Let's go to the queue. Are you ready, Patrick?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Laura, what are you doing, Laura? It's what? The Hey Alex command. It's the Hey Alex. Hey Alex.
Alex.
All right. Let's go to Tom. Tom, what is the DAX version of a rank over partition by type of SQL statement? To get the highest value for each category from a list. We could do rank X. Yeah. I would start with rank X. So that will, yeah.
But unless there's more to it, I mean, I know what rank over partition by is. I get that, and then you want to get the top one, right? Yep. So you just select. Once you do the rank over partition by, you can select where it's one. It gives you the top. So same thing with rank X.
Yep. Rank X for the win. Give that a try, Tom, if you haven't already. There's lots of content out there too about how to use rank X, and those SQL BI's got a lot of examples as well. So cool. All right, Jason. Kevin, that's not how that works.
Do you see what?
I appreciate you
Chris
trying.
Gillen said?
Oh, what did Griff say? Oh, my membership allows me to Yeah, I know. That's why I said I was afraid now that you're. Oh boy.
Jeez.
Oh boy. And Just Play, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Jason, is there a way to find out how many queries are being added to the end of a refresh when query cache is on? Is there a way to find out how many queries are being added to the end of a refresh? So the query cache is not related to refresh. The query cache is for like interactive queries that are going on from an interactive report. Those are two different things. So I don't understand what you mean by how many queries are being added on to the end of a refresh. I don't know. So I mean, we could, if you're curious about what queries are being executed during a refresh, you could do a profiler trace. I could tell you.
If you're using SQL, or use whatever tool for whatever source it is for you to monitor to see what's going on.
Yeah. So I'm just not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by refresh.
Says the queries get added to the refresh. What says
that? The queries get added to the refresh. I don't know what that means. Because I mean, when you do a refresh, queries will be executed because you're processing the model. If we're doing imports, so Thomas is also asking, are you doing direct query or import? So that's a good question. So yeah, I just don't understand the context of the question and what the goals are that you're going after.
Site.
Yeah, query cache is direct query capability. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Alex posted the link.
Query caching. Nice. Yeah. So if there are new queries, so here's this is the concept of query cache, right? Is when you're executing queries, so like when you interact with slicers, queries will go to the data source. Those queries could be cached. It's all about improving performance, right? And so I think what Jason's asking for then in that context is how do you find out how many queries got added to the cache? And I don't know of a way to do that. I don't know of a way to actually look and see like which queries are in the cache or like how many were added to that cache in that context.
So I
don't think that's the only way you could potentially see that is if it was exposed in a DMV, like over the XMLA endpoint, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
That's a good question, Jason.
Just Play, profiler will tell you what queries got executed to the source, but it will not tell you necessarily what got added to the cache. So, because that's a backend engine function, and it's just not exposed there. So, to my knowledge. So, all right, interesting question though, Jason.
Yeah.
Interesting question. All right. Yeah, cache inspector is what he wants. Yes. Pop Eater. Is there a way to set a default value for a slicer? Now, we get this question every once in a while. Like if I have a slicer by month and I want it to default to this month. Nope.
You could do it. You could do it. You can set a filter on a page but the problem is, right, it sets that slicer, so you can set a filter on the page. So on my date table, I can create is this month, and I would have to say month and year. I have it on a filter, so I would go January. What is this? What month are we in? September 2022.
Yeah.
And that would dynamically change every time you refresh the model. It's going to dynamically change. Hear me out. I've done this. And then in the filter, you choose this month. That's not setting the default slicer value for the slicer. That's not what I'm saying. But it will filter your report.
Yeah, it'll filter the report. It doesn't actually. Yeah. So you cannot change the selection of the slicer.
No.
You could filter the slicer options down.
Yeah.
So, yes. Yeah. Like Adam shaking his head. Yeah. Yes, you cannot select. There's no way to like programmatically select those items unless you're doing embedded. Embedded, you can. At least I think you can. through like the
Because
JavaScript
it's
API.
programmatic.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
write code. You can
But
write
like
code
from
for that.
DAX's perspective, from within DAX, you cannot select an item in a measure. A lot of people have asked for that, but you can't. So bookmarks, sure, you can change your bookmarks, but all that's doing is resetting the selection of a slicer, and the bookmark has to account for this month. So you'd have to have a bookmark for like each month. But like
gotta
then
include
how
the
does that?
year
You
also.
still have to change the bookmark, right? Like how do you know which one it's there? Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. So yeah. All right. Sorry, Pop Eater.
Yeah. That's all. That's a
Mark.
common ask.
He was laughing at me, shaking his head. I'm like, no. Remember that Patrick? That animated GIF? Nope.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
This is why Patrick reviews every slide deck that Adam produces now.
Yes.
Because of that faux pas. Yes.
Oh, that wasn't just a faux pas, my friend. That was a.
The moral of that story is always, anytime you're adding an animated GIF, watch the entire animated GIF.
In its
Pro
entirety.
tip. Pro
In
tip.
its
Pro
entirety.
tip.
Oh my God. That was so
It did spark random laughter that I hadn't anticipated within the session, though. So there was that.
Yeah.
And we didn't get kicked out, so there was that too.
Yeah, we still have jobs. So.
Indeed. Yes. All right, Thomas. I exported a report page in both app and workspaces. Okay, and neither used the values calculated from the current selected filters. Instead, use the default values. Power BI issue or my issue. I exported the report page.
Use the values calculated. Oh, okay. So they had a slicer.
Yeah.
or
So you have a
filter.
slicer. Currently selected filters. I'm assuming that you had a slicer. You chose a selection in the slicer, and then you exported the report. That should have accounted for the selection. There is, I want to say, wasn't there an option to like include filters, like when you exported? Hang on.
I'm just gonna export. What did he export?
You just exported from within an app and outside of an app. So.
But what did he export? The report page.
Yeah, the report
I don't
page.
have an app set up. Okay.
Well, who cares about the app? I want to see what it does. Because Thomas is saying it didn't work in the direct either. It failed in both. So if I go
Just
to...
export it.
All right, so I'm going to go to... Okay, so this is 18. Hang on, let me go to my machine. Let's try this out. Let's explore a little. So I changed to 2014. So the default is... Why is that not?
Mine work.
What happened?
Mine work.
All right, the browser locked up on me. Thank you, browser. There we go. You said it worked?
So on a report, I put a filter, and then I exported the data, and it only exported those 3 rows that was in the data. But I mean, I'm not reproducing his entire scenario. He said he was in an app.
No, he said both in an app or in the workspace. It was the same behavior in both. Yeah, exclude hidden report tabs only. Yeah, so there used to be current values or default values. There you go. There's an option there. So, but you're saying so you did current values and it still exported the default values. That's interesting. Let's see. So let's see if we get this 18,000 number. Gabrielle, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Blank and year slicer. Yeah. I selected current values. Yes. Okay, cool. I don't know why this is taking so long. I blame Chris Finland for this. Oh, Chris, make it faster. Seriously, why is that taking so long? 18,000. It worked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Update to E5. I am technically on E5. I don't think that has anything to do with it, though. So it worked. I don't know. You saw it. It worked. Seriously, the browser locked up again. What the heck? That is bizarre. All right. I don't know what to say, Thomas. It worked. it worked. So maybe it's you, or maybe there was something else going on that was causing that. I'm not sure. I'd need more details, or some more specific repro steps to see what's going on there. All right, cool, good job. Chris, in SQL Server Management Studio, an XMLA refresh failure will give a detailed message. When calling refresh API elsewhere and it fails, all you get is failed with no message. Where is the detailed message logged? In the report history. If you go to report history, there's an API to export the report history. That should give you the message. That would be where I would go. Unless you already tried that and you're going to tell me that no, it's not there. So that would be the only other place I would think of where you could get that.
Yeah, I don't know where else it could go. Yeah, anywhere else it could go.
Give that a try, Chris. Naam says Chrome works faster, so Edge is built on Chromium. It's the same thing. Ish. Paul Davis.
It's because you're not using the Surface Book.
Sure. Okay. Is there a way to hide pages, tables, and measures when distributing a template app? When customer updates, edits the report, all the hidden fields are exposed. No. So when you're hiding things, that's for the consumer. It's not for the author. The author is going to see everything. So if they've got a Power BI desktop file, they're going to see everything. Now you can, like members and whatnot, you can hide in the report view, and then so it won't show up in the field well, but you can still reference it from a DAX perspective. So no. Now from an authoring perspective, you can't do that. That only works for the consumers. It's going to hide it from the consumers of the report. So sorry, Paul. Laura, documenting reports. How do you recommend you do it? This comes up every once in a while.
Documenting reports or data models or both, Laura.
Let's say yes.
To me, they're.
Let's say yes.
Both.
Sure.
So for data models, there's this nice little box for the description of all of your tables and your columns and your measures and your calculated DMVs are great too, Chris, but you still have to. Someone has to go and type meaningful descriptions.
Laura said data models mostly.
All right, great.
Now you got Patrick's attention. All right.
So if you put comments into your tables and your columns, and Alex and I actually have been talking about this last week, if you put that into the data model, unfortunately somebody's got to go and do this, then when you use something like Purview, or Michael Kowalski over at Elegant BI actually has some tools that he's written to pull all that information out and give you the start of that, that documentation. So I would say use the table and column descriptions when you're building out the data model. It's a lot of work, but if you do it proactively as you're building out the tables, as you're building out the columns and stuff like that, it eases the pain a little bit. And then you can use DMVs, and you can use whatever Michael Kowalski wrote to pull that information out. If you have Tabular Editor 3, there's so many ways to update that information. But once you have it, then there's easy ways to pull that stuff out.
Yeah. Now, the other thing I'll add to that, though, is you do that, but then you start going and updating like DAX measures to change things. Like, make sure you go back and update the description.
Yes.
Chances are you're going to forget, and then it's saying something else and not. So.
There's just so many things. Yeah.
Yeah. Thomas also said, or build a metadata table in the ETL.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Thomas.
But you still gotta. But the descriptions and stuff, they still need to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah, you gotta populate it somewhere.
So you gotta populate that somewhere. Yeah. And then Alex, thank you for dropping the link to Michael's blog. Okay. Let's see here. And then Jason dropping Mark's solution as well. Link in there. Awesome. Lots of options.
I gotta look at that one.
Lots of options. All right. Let's see. Chris Finland. Is Chatmaster C open to bribes? I'd rather give her stuff than you two. Sure. She likes stuff.
If you give it to her, Adam's gonna get it too, so it doesn't matter.
No, that is not a true statement. No.
It's the other way though.
Like,
if I give it to Adam,
yes.
she gets it.
Yes. Yes. So, yes. All right. Yee's got a question here. After shared data set has been setting up refresh every 30 minutes, does Power BI report also need to set up refresh every 30 minutes? So, there's this yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I know you're confused. You're confused, and so I'm gonna go. Let me go over to my machine again. And so in the service, there's this little thing here that says refresh the visuals, right? Because sometimes your visuals are cached, and so if you've refreshed your data every 30 minutes, there is a potential that there may still be some cache stuff there in the visual. So it does time out. I don't know off the top of my head what that time is. Usually, Chatmaster C said more puppies.
Oh no!
I have a solution for the puppy thing. There's 2 roads over. There's some Great Dane pups we can go grab. Anyway, sorry. Yee. It depends on the window. So I would say if the refresh kicked off, it depends. So let's say that it's refreshing every half hour. It just got done refreshing, and now you go into the report. The report cache hasn't invalidated yet. And so, yes, they may have to go refresh the report to see the relevant data. But now if it's like 29 minutes after the previous refresh, chances are that report cache should have invalidated already. So I think that's right. I should be right. All right. Let's try and get a few more in here. We're bumping up against the clock, Patrick. All right. MCon. I made a DAX measure for month to date. I want another DAX measure to compare it to the same period last year. I want to put them side by side in a table to make a comparison. Okay. What's the question? I don't know.
I want to make another DAX measure to compare it to the same period last year. So a month to date, same period last year with month to date. There's a function for same period last year. Start there. You know, when you do calculate, put that month to date function, try same period last year. You got to look. You really have to look at the data and do some comparisons depending on what your data looks like, because you may need to write your own. And Marco and Alberto, they have great patterns at daxpatterns.com. daxpatterns.com for time intelligence. But start with same period last year. Yes, always, Bernard, calculation groups. Always calculation groups, right? But just, you know, before you get into the calculation groups, do some testing, you know, do some same period last year calculation and see if it works. Make sure it's working, validate your numbers. Parallel period. There's so many that you can use. But check out DAX patterns.
All right. Andy. So has Microsoft released any official details about the visual level calculations in Power BI? This was showed off last week by Yaron at the Data Insights Summit. No, he was teasing that capability. It's not out yet. And so nothing yet. Stay tuned. It is an exciting feature. So yeah, Alex, you had to be there. So Alex, my question is, are we going to show that again at Power Platform Conference? I feel like, you know, I'm not as excited now. So anyway, all right, Jake. Let's get Jake. How can I sort a slicer or field in a table in a specific order? Seniority of position in organization, blah blah blah. You can do column. So within the model, you can say sort this column by another column. But if you want that dynamically, like that's going to be a problem. So,
but if it's a static value, BI assistant 1, minion 2, you know, have a separate column and they have to be a 1-to-1. It needs to be a 1-to-1 mapping between those sorts, and then do a sort by. And then,
so the sort by column is where you're going to want to do that within the model.
You got
if it's static. There's a video out there on it. All right. All right, so I'm going to end with this last question. Benny's teasing. So the Legoland stuff is going on next week. I'm sad I couldn't be there. I'm going to be at Power Platform Conference. So Benny asked, do I need him to bring anything from Legoland? So of note, I will be, we will meet up with Benny in October. And so he's trying to do me a favor of like, do I want him to pick up anything at Legoland for me?
I do, Benny.
Benny, wait, Patrick wants Legos?
I do. I have 2 little nephews that are addicted to Legos. And so anything that would be of interest for, there's 8 and 10. No, 8 and 6.
Yeah, so don't do the big Millennium Falcon, because I will say for an 8-year-old, they're not going to be able to put that together.
No.
It was tough.
That's
the only one I've done.
That'd be awesome, Benny.
That was the big Millennium Falcon is the only one I've done where I would say the age restriction on that was legit, because there was some parts on there I had to force in, and 8-year-old's not going to do it.
They are obsessed.
Yeah, Master C.
They are obsessed, man.
So Benny, I appreciate it. For me personally, I still have 2 Lego sets I still have to put together that I got at Christmas this last year. So I've been dragging my feet on it. And so until those are complete, no more Legos. Once those are complete, then we can talk.
I'll find out, Benny. I'll find out, and I'll send you a note. I will happily reimburse you. They will be so excited. I will let you know.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, everyone. That brings us to the end of this live stream. We did not get to all the member questions. Apologies. That tends to happen when we have pre-submitted questions. So come back next time. Of note, next week, next Saturday, we will not have a live stream because I will be on an airplane. And so that'll be hard to do from. Streaming from an airplane is not ideal. So what are you thinking?
Nothing.
The other thing I'm going to do, though, is be aware that I'm going to schedule. We're going to attempt this. I don't know how successful it will be.
I wasn't going to say it, but okay.
We will be doing a live stream Wednesday afternoon U.S. time, so it'll be a little late for our European friends. But we're going to attempt to do it from the Power Platform Conference. I'm going to be bringing my gear with me. The big question mark I have 2 question marks on this. One is the space that we're going to do it at, and 2 is the internet. Will the internet behave in order for us to do this? But we're going to give it a go. Chris Wagner did it at the Data Insights Summit, so I now feel compelled to do it at the Power Platform Conference. So we'll give it a go. And then Jason, thank you so much for dropping the link. Let's see if this works. I just want to feel that it does work with the integration. But yes, check out the social hour link if you're going to be at Power Platform Conference Tuesday night. We are doing a social hour. It did not work. And so go register for that if you want. Space is limited. And so just get your name on the list. There's still some room. So go check that out. I've got these really cool Power BI wristbands that I'll be giving. I don't know if that's going to zoom in. Zoom it or blurry, focus. Blurry, I know.
Blurry.
Anyway, so I got these wristbands for people. That's your ticket in, and that will. Chris, I'm gonna do it. It just depends. It depends, Patrick. It depends on the internet. Yes, there was something else. What else? What did I miss? Someone mentioned something. Yes, good audio. So Kevin, live studio audience, we're going to try. I got to find a space though, and we're going to find that out when we get there. It depends. We're going to try. I was talking to some people on the Microsoft side, and they were talking about there's going to be podcast booths, and they mentioned we could go do the podcast booth, and I'm like, well, that doesn't allow for a live audience, so we'll see. Also, I figured out, and Chris, this is where I'm going to show you up, is I'm going to have my main camera, my GH5, but I'm also going to use my cell phone as a camera. So I'm going to have 2 cameras going off of my laptop for the live stream. And it works. It's going to be awesome. So we'll see that. All right. Thank you, everyone. So not next Saturday, Wednesday. Check that out. Join us there. If you're going to be at Power Platform Conference, come say hi. Walk up to us and say hi. We always love meeting people face to face. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great next week. We will see you next time. We'll see you.
Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done. Till you're broken. welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. I've been waiting for this moment, the final battle of the chosen. See, I'm never gonna quit, got my legacy set in motion. So welcome to the fire.